Hey, I'm Taylor, and my brain's a mess. If yours is too, welcome. This podcast is for folks who feel overwhelmed, anxious, or just tired of pretending everything's fine. I'm a therapist, but this isn't therapy, it's real talk about being a human. Let's dive in. Today, we're going to name one of the most universal mental health experiences out there. That feeling of being mentally full, emotionally stretched, and cognitively scattered. It's not just a productivity issue. It's not just bad focus or being disorganized. It's a sign that your brain is overloaded and trying really hard to keep up with a world that never stops asking for more. So today we're going to unpack why this happens, how it connects to your nervous system, and what you can actually do to give your brain some breathing room. So what does 400 tabs open actually feel like? Let's start with the symptoms because this metaphor exists for a reason. When your brain has too many tabs open, you might notice. You're thinking about 5 things while doing one. You're always just a little behind and can't quite catch up. Your body is tense even when you're sitting still. You can't remember why you walked into a room or what you intended to do. You scroll aimlessly, trying to find relief, but it just adds more noise. And you're mentally exhausted, but you didn't do that much. It's like your mind is juggling tasks, emotions, reminders, worries, and unfinished conversations all at once. And instead of closing anything, you just keep opening more. So let's talk about the invisible piece here, the mental load. The mental load is a cognitive labor of remembering deadlines, managing other people's needs, anticipating what might go wrong, planning, fixing, adjusting, or even caretaking. This isn't about work or parenting or relationships. It's the emotional responsibility of holding it all together. And for people with ADHD, anxiety, trauma, or just plain burnout, mental load becomes a chronic state. Your brain is running in the background all the time, even when you're trying to rest and nothing is wrong, because it's scanning for the next big thing. When your brain is full of open tabs, your nervous system is usually in a state of sympathetic activation. That's the fight or flight state. You're mobilized, alert, constantly scanning. You may not feel panicked yet. You may even look calm, but your internal system is in overdrive. Why? Because your brain is trying to keep you safe by keeping you on. It says, if I keep thinking about this, I won't forget. If I prepare for every possibility, I'll avoid pain. If I keep everything in mind, I can stay in control. And while that's incredibly adaptive, it's also unsustainable. Your system isn't designed to hold everything forever. Eventually, it starts shutting down, forgetting things, or melting into that weird in-between state where you're overwhelmed but numb. Any of this sound familiar? So if you've ever been told to just focus or stop overthinking, you know exactly how unhelpful that is. You can't focus when your nervous system is bracing for threat. You can't clear your mind when your brain is carrying 57 reminders, 12 texts, 6 emotional reactions, and 3 conversations you wish had gone differently. Focus isn't about trying harder, it's about clearing space. But we can't clear space if we don't feel safe to slow down. So before you start blaming your brain, pause and ask, what am I carrying that no one else sees? Where did I learn that I have to remember everything or I'll fall apart? What would it mean to rest before I'm empty? So now that you've addressed some of those core reasons, let's talk about strategy. You don't need a productivity hack, you need relief. Here are some ways to start creating space in your system. The first is to externalize the inner noise. Write it down, voice memo it, whiteboard it. Get it out of your head and into the world. Your brain is not a storage unit, it's a processor. Offload what you can. Next, create a pause practice. Pick one moment in your day to not add it. No phone, no thoughts to solve. Just look out the window, sip something warm. Let your body have silence, even if your mind is noisy. Third is to use micro closers. You don't have to finish the whole thing, just reply to one email, wash one dish, send one text, or delete one task you're never actually going to do. Your brain loves completion, but it doesn't need perfection. Small closings count. And finally, add in some nervous system grounding. When the tabs are flying and there's music coming out of one of them, press your feet into the floor as hard as you can. Name 5 things you can see, or breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 6. Even say out loud, there's no emergency right now. Because 90% of the time there isn't. Your body just forgot. So if your brain feels like a browser with 400 tabs open, you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're overloaded. And your nervous system is trying to help in the only way it knows how. You don't need to get it all under control. You need permission to slow down, soften the pressure, and close what no longer serves you. And that starts with this simple truth. You are allowed to stop thinking about everything all at once. Not because it's resolved, but because your brain deserves space to. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. If this episode helped you feel a little more human, share it with someone who gets it. You'll find links to blog posts, the Safe and Sound Protocol, and other stuff I mentioned at innerhearttherapy.org. Take care of your messy, brilliant brain. I'll catch you next time.